Morning light slowly spills over the small coastal village in the Philippines, brushing the nipa huts with a warm, golden glow. The air smells of sea salt mixed with the earthy scent of damp soil. Waves roll gently toward the shore, creating a soft rhythm that blends with the distant calls of fishermen preparing their boats for another day at sea. Children begin to fill the narrow dirt paths between the homes, laughing as they chase one another barefoot, dust rising in tiny clouds beneath their feet. Among them is 8-year-old Mira, a bright-eyed girl with a gentle voice that everyone in the village knows well. She hums a sweet melody as she helps her mother hang freshly washed clothes on a line stretched between two bamboo posts. Her mother smiles at the familiar tune. Mira has always loved to sing, even before she learned how to talk properly. Neighbors pass by carrying baskets of vegetables and freshly caught fish. They greet Mira and her mother warmly, exchanging simple stories of the morning. Mira's younger brother tugs at her shirt, asking her to play. She responds with a quick, playful spin that makes him giggle uncontrollably. Everything feels light, peaceful, and safe. Behind the village, tall coconut trees sway lazily as if dancing to Mira's humming. Chickens wander freely, pecking at the ground, while an old radio from a nearby hut plays a cheerful folk song. It is one of those rare mornings where the whole village seems perfectly in harmony, every sound, every movement blending into a picture of simple, beautiful life. But far beyond the shoreline, barely noticeable under the usual sounds of morning, a low rumble lingers in the sky. Fighter jets, still distant, carve faint lines across the clouds. No one in the village sees them yet. No one imagines how quickly their peaceful world will change. Night settles over the village like a soft blanket, the moon glowing gently above the palm trees. Families finish their evening meals, sharing quiet conversations as the warm breeze drifts through open windows. Mira lies beside her younger brother, humming the same melody she sang that morning. Their mother tucks them in, brushing hair from Mira's forehead. Everything feels calm, calmer than usual, almost too still. Then, without warning, the world erupts. A thunderous explosion shakes the ground, sending plates clattering and windows rattling. Mira bolts upright, heart pounding. Before she can speak, a second blast lights the sky with a violent orange glow, turning night into fire. Screams echo through the village as neighbors rush outside, running in every direction. Her father bursts into the room, face covered in ash. "Get up. We have to go, now," he shouts, grabbing Mira's brother and pulling them toward the door. Mira stumbles after him, clutching the only thing she manages to grab, a framed family photo from the bedside table. Outside, chaos swallows everything. Flames devour the rooftops of nipa huts, sparks flying like angry fireflies. Smoke thickens the air, making it hard to breathe. Babies cry, mothers shout their children's names, dogs bark wildly. The sky roars with the sound of aircraft, their shadows flashing overhead between bursts of fire. Her father leads them toward the shoreline, pushing through terrified crowds. "Don't look back," he tells Mira, but she can't help it. Their home, the place she sang, laughed, and grew, collapses in a blaze of wood and sparks. Suddenly, a deafening explosion hits nearby, and Mira is thrown to the ground. When she looks up, her father is no longer beside her. Dust and fire swallow the space where he stood. Her mother pulls her up, trembling. "Run, Mira. Run." And they do, into a night that will never be the same again. The evacuation center is nothing more than a large gymnasium in a distant town, its concrete floors cold and its walls echoing with hundreds of voices. Families sleep on thin mats spread across the ground, each space separated only by blankets or makeshift cardboard dividers. To Mira, it feels like a world made of sadness, faces she once knew now gray with exhaustion, homes reduced to memories, and futures clouded with uncertainty. Mira sits quietly beside her mother and younger brother, their few belongings placed in a small plastic bag. She holds the torn family photo tightly, the edges crinkled from her grip. Her mother tries to stay strong, whispering gentle reassurances, but Mira can see the heaviness in her eyes. Every few minutes, someone new enters the center, carrying nothing but soot-covered clothes and grief. Volunteers move through the aisles, handing out warm meals, rice, boiled eggs, and a small bottle of water. An aid worker kneels in front of Mira and smiles. "Are you okay, sweetheart?" he asks softly. Mira nods, though her heart feels heavy. She hasn't spoken much since the night of the bombing. As night falls, the gym lights dim, and the sound of crying children fills the space. Mira hugs her brother close, humming a faint melody to help him sleep. Her voice trembles at first, barely audible. But the habit of singing, her one comfort, slowly takes over, and the tune grows steadier. An older woman lying a few feet away lifts her head. A tired father holding a baby looks in Mira's direction. Soon, the entire corner of the room grows silent, listening to the fragile yet soothing notes coming from the small girl who has lost so much. Her song does not erase the pain. But for a moment, it softens it, like a warm light flickering in a room full of shadows. Months have passed since the night Mira's world collapsed. She now stands far from the ashes of her village, inside the dazzling, larger-than-life studio of America's Got Talent. Bright lights sweep across the stage, cameras glide silently overhead, and thousands of eyes watch from the audience. For an 8-year-old girl who once sang only to calm her brother at night, the stage feels impossibly big. Backstage, Mira clutches the worn family photo in her trembling hands. The same volunteer who first heard her sing in the evacuation center gently kneels beside her. "You don't have to be perfect," he whispers. "Just sing with your heart. That's more than enough." Mira nods, though her small chest rises and falls with nervous breaths. A production assistant calls her name. The curtain parts. Mira walks into the spotlight, her thin figure dwarfed by the massive stage. She blinks against the lights, her fingers twisting nervously at the hem of her dress. The judges look up, Howie smiling gently, Heidi giving an encouraging nod, Sophia placing a hand over her heart. Simon leans forward, studying her with quiet curiosity. "What's your name, sweetheart?" Simon asks, his voice softer than usual. "Mira," she says, voice barely above a whisper. He notices the photo in her hands. "What will you be singing for us today?" She swallows. "A song I wrote, about my home." "And, what happened?" The audience falls silent. The music begins, just a soft piano, almost like a lullaby. Mira closes her eyes. When she starts to sing, her voice is fragile, trembling, but filled with a depth that no child should ever have to carry. The melody rises, aching with loss, hope, memories of her father, and the village she loved. By the time she reaches the final note, the room is breathless. Simon's eyes glisten. He lowers his head, overwhelmed. Mira opens her eyes, unsure. The world seems frozen, waiting. Mira's final note hangs in the air, trembling like a fragile thread between hope and heartbreak. For a long moment, the audience is silent, as if holding its collective breath. Then, slowly, applause rises, soft at first, then swelling into a thunderous wave that fills the vast studio. Mira blinks, overwhelmed, unsure if she should believe the sound. Her small hands clutch the worn family photo against her chest, her heart pounding with disbelief. Simon Cowell leans forward, his eyes glistening with unshed tears. He rarely shows emotion like this on television, but Mira's song has pierced through years of skepticism. "That," he says quietly, his voice catching, "is one of the most powerful performances I have ever heard in my life." His words are more than praise, they are acknowledgement of a pain and strength far beyond her years. The other judges nod, their faces full of awe and admiration. The camera pans across the audience, many of whom are wiping away tears, moved by the raw honesty in Mira's voice. She feels her mother approaching from backstage, rushing onto the stage with arms outstretched. Mira runs into her embrace, sobbing, holding her brother close. For the first time in months, she allows herself to feel a spark of joy, a flicker of relief amid the darkness she has endured. Then Simon presses the golden buzzer. A shower of golden confetti rains down, sparkling under the stage lights. Mira gasps, laughing and crying at the same time. The music swells again, not as a melody of sadness, but as a triumphant anthem of resilience. For Mira, the moment is more than a victory, it is proof that her story, her voice, and her courage matter. Her song has not only touched strangers in another country but has also become a beacon of hope for children everywhere whose lives war has shattered. Mira hugs her mother tighter. Amid the falling gold, she realizes, even after everything, life can still hold moments of beauty.